Okay, everyone, welcome back to Kol Shira. It's Erev Shabbos, Parshas Mishpatim. Everyone, thank you for coming today. And let's just jump right in. We're in Hilchas Birchas Hashacha, Halacha Hey, and we're up to letter Mem. So, Zeo Me'emasai Kairin Shema. So, you know, the Gemara in Brachas, Shas starts off. The whole Shas starts off with these words, Me'emasai Kairin Shema. Right, that's the first mission in Brachas, the first mission in Shas. But Arvis, you say Kriya Shema at Arvis, but when? Mishosha Kehanim Nichnasim Le'echel B'Trumasan. And you eat it, these are the words of the Mishnah. At the time that the Kehanim would come in to engage in eating their Truma, is the time you're supposed to read, you say the Kriya Shema. The Kriya Shema. Shekavu zman kriya shema b'achilas hakehanim es truma. So Chazal instituted that you say the kriya shema is connected to the eating of the truma. Okay. Ki kvar mavaya she'ike kriya shema u bechinas bittul el rotzain elyon. Because we said the whole point of kriya shema, when you say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, that's being mevatel yourself to the rotzain Hashem. Right, those are the last words a Jew is supposed to say in his life. Right, you're supposed to say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Hashem Echad. You mevatel yourself. You nullify yourself to the oneness, to the ratzon of Hashem. And then that's what those words are so important, because I'm agreeing with you, Hashem. What you feel is right. This is the way it is, and this is being mevatel to the ratzon elyon. Shayidei zeh zoich lebechinas kayin ish chesed. And through this, you're zeicha to be like the Kayin and Ish Chesed, v'chinas v'atem Kayinei Hashem tikro. As the Navi Yeshaya says, v'atem, that atem is you, atem. Kayinei Hashem tikro, you call the Kayhanei Hashem. We had that in last week's Parasha in Yisro, right? What did it say? V'atem tiyum amleches Kayhanim v'goy kodesh, right? Same words, right? So we see the aspect of what does it mean, Mamleches Kaihanim v'Gai Kadosh, because we know that the Kahanim are the examples for us, for Klal Yisrael, for the Jewish people, and we try to be close to the way the Kahanim are, that they are so close in their service to Hashem. We try to do that also, but we are also the Mamleches Kaihanim. We are the people of Kehanim because we show the example to the world. See, the Kehanim are special to us, and we're special as a whole to the whole world. Make sense? Yeah? Okay. Now, this is truma. And this is what it means that the Kehanim would eat their truma, right? So you would prepare, you would make food, and then when you would grow food and grow an animal, whatever you would have, and you would prepare, you would take off the truma and give it to the Kehanim. Ki truma b'china tzedakah nediva slave, because truma is an aspect of tzedakah, a giving of the heart. You feel good, right? You're able to pick, if you knew a certain kayin, you were able to have your kayin that you wanted to give to. You had a friend, a kayin, you would bring in, it would be in the diva slave. You would give it over. Yes, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, it wasn't to all the Kohanim, you picked a specific
You
Kohanim.
could, you were able to, yeah, sure. You had to give it to a kayin. It wasn't given to a fund. It wasn't like a kayin fund. You were able to give your truma to a kayin itself. Oh, here's Shmuel, the kayin. Oh, here's Shmuel, here, I have truma for you. He takes it, you fulfilled your obligation, he has the truma. It's wonderful.
Is this what they could be called Tovas Hanoah?
Yeah, what do you mean?
That you have the pleasure of you have the benefit of making this gift.
Yeah, that's a nediva slave. It's a giving of the heart. Nediva slave. It's a giving of the heart. You don't just give it, but you feel good that I'm able to help Shmuel, because the Kehanim didn't have land, right? They didn't have an inheritance of land that they were able to grow on their own. They didn't have a Yerusha like that. They didn't get land. The Kehanim, right?
But they were designated to get
the truma, to give them, exactly, so that way they can take care of their service of Hashem and the Jewish people, and then not to worry about their parnasa, because it was figured out that all the Jewish people would give 10%, would give them the truma, the 10% to the Kohanim as the truma, and they got the truma and the ma'aser and all the other. Okay, anyway, okay, good. So far, good. Okay, good. Sheikhlim ki truma tzedakah and the diva slave. Shetzrichen Yisrael lahafresh meirashes tuasam. That when we have the first grown fruits, the first grown vegetables, the first grown wheat, that's so precious. You plant the seeds, and you wait, you water it, it gets the sun, and you do your thing. And then when you see those first sprouts, the first ones, they're so precious. They're so precious because I worked for this. It's very, very precious. Lahafresh meirashes wasam litain parnasa l'kayhanei Hashem, and you give it over to the parnasa for the kayhanim. How beautiful that is. Bechinas, we have to turn the page. Me'ez kol ish asher yidvenu libay tikachu. From whatever was yidvenu libay, whatever was most dear to the person, that's what he would give to the kayhanim. Tikachu es trumasi batayra. Okay, kamuvan batayra chavalim naflu. Belakutitinana simin ayin gimel truma bechina tzedakah. Okay, another reference that truma is an aspect of tzedakah. The truma, when you take from it's your obligation to give the truma. But truma is also not just truma; it's also considered a tzedakah. Okay, by idea tzedakah merimim hadas shel hazikenim, and through the act of tzedakah, we are elevating the das of the zikenim. V'nechlolim b'zikenim d'kedusha meisifin kedusha v'das b'chol yoyim v'yoyim. So each and every day. So here we're making the thing. We started out. When do you say the Kriya Shema? Bisman she'akayhanim oichlin es trumaseyam. Right at that time, and every day when we start our morning, we give tzedakah. Right, we're supposed to take off a little bit of money, set it aside for the tzedakah. So we're doing the same thing. We're connecting back. We're doing a similar thing to remind us that we start the day. It's an act of tzedakah, and each day we're supposed to do that again. And we add kedusha to ourselves by doing that. And then we come to the Ratzon Hashem. That was to do what the Ratzon Hashem is. Nimtokim kol adinim shebechol ha'esrim v'arba bati dinim. And through that, through our act of chesed, doing the Ratzon Hashem, we could be mamtik the din in those 24 upper courthouses in heaven that send out the judgments upon us. We could mitigate the judgment by just giving the tzedakah in the right way, but benediva slave. Sometimes you see people give money and they give it reluctantly. But if we want to give, whatever we're going to give, whatever you can give, if you can give $1, you can give a quarter, you can give $5, $10, whatever you're going to give, the main thing is give it benediva slave. How you give it, b'seiv upon them yafas. You do it in a nice, pleasing way. That's the most important thing in the act that we're doing it tzedakah, because that's the Ratzon Hashem. Shezeo bechinas arba'im v'teisha oisais shebishma ubaruch shem kavod malchusei li'olam v'od. So in Kriya Shema, when we say Shema Yisrael, shebechinas arba'im v'teisha oisais, there are 49 letters. There are 49 letters in Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, and Baruch Shem Kivay Malchusei L'Olam V'ad. If you add up the letters, you have a total of 49. Shebishma Baruch Shem Kivay Malchusei L'Olam V'ad. V'al Kain, Shia Truma, Trei, Mimeya, Shehu Echad Mechamishim. Okay, what's the share of Truma? Is 2% mimeya. What's mimeya?
Of 100.
Of 100. Shu echad mechamishim, which is 1/5.
50th.
1/50th. Ki harotzen elyon hu bechina shara chamishim, because the rotzen elyon is the shara chamishim. In other words, we know when we count the Sfira, we have 49 days, and what's the 50th day? Shavuos, Matan Torah. So the whole thing is 49, but 50 is the magic number. We know in Mitzrayim we were on the 49th level of Tumah. We couldn't, chas v'shalom, stay there any longer, because then we would come to the 50th level, right? So then that's why Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim when He did. We had 49 days in the Midbar to get to Har Sinai. Kabbalah Satayra, where we're in the middle right now. Shemisham nimshachim kol ha'arbaim v'teisha sha'arim, and from there you get the 49 different gates. She'em bechinas ha'arbaim v'teisha oisei shebekriya shema she'ikaram hu kutza the ois dalid. But the main one of all the 49 letters is that little kutza, the little spitz, the point of the dalid. You ever see the way the Dalet is written in the Torah? When Hashem saw Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, the Dalet is a bigger Dalet. And that's why we're supposed to enunciate the Dalet. Echad. Right? Do we do that? Do we do that? We say Echad. Echad. Right. We enunciate. We know how to do that. We enunciate the Dalet. Why do we enunciate the Dalet? To make sure that we don't say Chas v'Shalom, it sounds like a Reish. Because a Dalet and a Reish look similar, right? They're both the same shape. But the Dalet has a little thing that goes up, the little spitz that goes up, and that's what makes it a Dalet. That's the difference between a Dalet and a Reish, right? So we say that, okay, so the main point of the 49 letters is really the Dalet, where the Dalet goes up. That's the main of the 49. So again, here, let's do this one more time. There are 49 different gates in Shemayim, and there are 49 different levels. There's 40 different 9 different levels. There are 49 letters in Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad Baruch Shem Kivay Malchusei. Altogether is 49. But the main one that's important is the Dalet of Echad. Shu Bechina Soid HaNekuda. That's the secret of that Nekuda, of that dot, the spitz of the Dalet. The Bechinas Shara Chamishim Shesosum V'Nelam, because the Shara Chamishim is Sosum, it's sealed, V'Nelam and hidden. Umarumas rak beside Nekuda Shel HaTzadik Emes Bechinas Kutza Da'is Dalet De'echad Shu Bechinas Yud. But it's connected to the Yud. That's the main thing. Shekola Chamisha Tevois, because all the 5 different words, Shem Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, right? Nichlalim Sham are nichlal in the Yud Kei Vav Kei. Kamuvan b'Tikunei Zayir, as it's brought down in the Tikunei Zayir. Sheheim b'chinas Chamesh Avonim Dikrita, right? Bechinas Chamisha Chalukei Avonim Shelokach David Be'ez Shelocham Im Goliath Shekafar Berotzan B'Yitzatzev Abam Yoim. Okay. So what happened? David HaMelech. There's 5 letters, 5 words altogether. David HaMelech is the tzaddik we're referring to. He took 5 stones when he went to fight with Goliath, the famous battle. David with a slingshot. He took 5 rocks with him, 5 stones. Kamay Perish Rashi Sham. David Hichniyoi Ayidei Chamisha Chalukei Avonim, from the 5 different chalokim, the 5 levels of the stones. Sheim Bechinas Chamesh Teva Shel Shema. So David HaMelech went with Goliath, and his secret was Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. He shot the rock, and that's how he was able to knock him down. Goliath was a giant. He was a giant. David HaMelech was very, very in size, a small person in size. So, but he went over there with what and how was he able to take with his little slingshot in his hand to take down this big monster? He did it via Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. He had 5 stones. Each stone was for another word of Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem, and the Echad is together. It's, in other words, that's you understand how it works? Okay, so that's the secret what David HaMelech did. Amazing. She'ikar kutza the ois dalid shehu a yud ki chamesh pamim yud, because 5 times 10 hu chamishim is 50. That's simple to know. Shehu tachlis harotzen elyon, and that's the tachlis rotzen elyon. So we try to connect back to 50. Right? We know of 49. We try to connect back to 50, which is the rotzen elyon, which is the highest place. Misham ikar hamshachas haratzon bechinas abam teisha shorim shehem esrim v'chamesh asvan shel Shema, the 25 letters of Shema, lahamtik esrim v'arba batei dinim al yedei baruch shem kivayid machusei leilam v'od. So baruch shem kivayid machusei leilam v'od altogether is 24 letters, and there are 24 courthouses up on high that are trying to bring judgment upon each one of us. But when we say Baruch Shem Kivayid Malchusai, each letter of Baruch Shem Kivayid Malchusai is mitigating a different judgment in each one of the 24 courthouses. 24 courthouses. Each courthouse is represented by another letter of Baruch Shem Kivayid Malchusai Li'aylam Voy. 24 letters, 24 courthouses. Each letter is another pass for another courthouse to get out of jail free. Is that amazing? You're saying it anyway. Ki avonim bechinas rotza, and because the avonim are the rotzen, k'mei shekos b'Torah. Bechinas Evan Shalema Ritzainai Ayin Sham V'zeh Bechinas Truma Shu Echad Nechamishim, and that's why the Truma is 1 of 50. Echad Nechamishim. Truma Bechinas Tzedakah, we established that Truma is Tzedakah. V'idei Zeh Ikar Amshachas HaRotzen, and that's how you get the main Rotzen, by giving the Tzedakah b'nediva slave. Bechinas Pidyon Elyon, which is how we get a pidyon. What's a pidyon?
Redemption.
A redemption. You get the pidyon elyon, you get a redemption from each one of the courthouses by what we're learning. Is that amazing? You say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. That's 25. 25 is higher than 24. So in the 25th place, which is the highest courthouse, they give you the pass in order to go to each one of the courthouses to get mitigated the judgment of each one of the 24 courthouses. Happens every day.
I'm trying to figure out in what context.
What do you mean, what context?
You said it happens every day.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so every day is a new day.
Yeah.
It's a Maaseh Bereshis. So each day up on high, it's important that we daven in the morning. We do what we're supposed to do, right? And the Anshe Knesset Gedolah established for us our beautiful tefillah, and the order, the sequence of the tefillah, how we say the tefillah, right? And they established for us to say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and Baruch Shem Kivayid Malchusai. Right. And that was introduced by Yaakov Avinu, right? The Baruch Shem Kivayid Malchusai Li'aylam V'od, the 24, right? So now, every day when you say Shema, you first say Shema. Shema is 25 letters. 25 is greater than 24.
Obviously.
Okay, because there's the 25th courthouse, is, so to say, we're going to call it the Supreme Court. So now you get out, you're in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court hands you a pass to get out from each one of the other judgments that they want to bring upon you each day. Each day they want to bring different judgments upon us. Because, let's face it, we don't always do the right thing all day long. Right? Sometimes we make mistakes. We're designed to make mistakes. We're not perfect people. We make mistakes. We don't always do the right thing. So each day they want to bring judgment upon what we did. So Hashem gave us a beautiful present. Here, you say, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Pay attention to what you say. Think about what you're saying. Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Hashem, I know it's only you. I know it's only you in the world. It's not all this other stuff that I get mixed up with. We get mixed up with the news and all the different things, the mail we get and all that. We get all mixed up. But when we come to shul and we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, like you said before, you enunciate that dalet, that Hashem, you're the only one. It's only you. So that grants you, when you say that properly, it grants you a pass for the courthouses that want to bring judgment upon you. No, it's okay. Valkain hatruma shaycha lekayhanim daika. Therefore, the truma is shayach. It pertains to the kayhanim specifically. Why? Kikra tikin liskois lebechinas kayim bechinas vatem kayanei Hashem tikrohu. That we should be called the Kayhanei Hashem. We have to emulate the way the Kahanim were always connected to Hashem, doing the right thing, and they're so careful with different things. Even today, the Kahanim have different prohibitions than we can, than we're allowed to do. Right? A Kayan can't marry a Grusha today, right? He can't go to a Levaya, he can't go to the cemetery, he can't do different things. Right? The Kahanim are different than us. They're different than us. They're on a higher level. And therefore they made the Chazal instituted that the time of the Kriya Shema will be dependent on the Kahanim, because we're trying to be like the Kahanim. So it's reminding us, when are you saying Kriya Shema at night? Oh, that's the time the Kahanim are eating, to remind us I'm supposed to be like the Kahanim. I'm supposed to add some more Kedusha to my life, the same way they're doing it.
So by saying Kriya Shema, you're adding Kedusha to your life.
Yeah.
What does that do with the Kohen eating? That's what I'm confused.
No. So the Mishnah says, when do you say the Kriya Shema at night? And the answer is, by the time the Kehanim are eating. That's what the Mishnah in Bracha says. It's the first Mishnah in Shas. When do you read the Kriya Shema? Is the question. The Mishnah answers the time that the Kehanim are eating their truma. So we're trying to understand, what does the eating of the truma have to do with the Kriya Shema?
Okay, so you're saying Shema at night, that's Kriya Shema, but you're also saying Shema in the morning.
Okay, but it's you're accomplishing the same thing each time you say Shema. But we're just explaining, Reb Nassan's explaining to us now, why did the Mishnah, why did Rabbi Yehuda Nasi write the Mishnah in a way, the first Mishnah, that when is the time of reading the Kriya Shema? At the time the Kahanim are eating their Truma. So he's explaining to us, what does that mean? What's the connection? This is what you asked. What is the connection of the Kriya Shema and the Kahanim eating their Truma? Right, so that's what we're explaining, because we're supposed to remember. The Mishnah wants us to remember that we're supposed to emulate the Kahanim. We're not supposed to be like all the other people of the world. We're supposed to be insulated. We're supposed to be different than the rest of the world. And how do we remember that? I remember that I gave my truma to the Kohen, and I gave my truma to the Kohen Benediva slave. I gave it with my full heart. I gave that truma to the Kohen with my true heart. And we also established, when we give tzedakah, it's like truma. When we give tzedakah today, it's like truma. So it means when you take money out of your wallet and you designate it, I'm going to give this money now for tzedakah, it's similar to taking your produce and whatever it is and giving that for tzedakah to the Kohen. Exactly.
Because you want to, not because you have to.
Because exactly. You feel pride in what you're doing. You feel good about what you're doing. You feel you're doing the Ratzon Hashem. Hashem wants me to do this, and that's why I'm doing it. You know, the examples like this, if someone is sitting, you go to, it's a nice day outside, maybe not like today, right? But if it's a nice day outside and you're gonna go and sit in the park and you're gonna eat your sandwich, you have your lunch in the park, and then next to you sits down another fella that's a schlepper. He has no food, nothing, and he's sitting there looking at you.
So say, would you like a piece of my sandwich?
He's looking at you. Now, you want to enjoy your sandwich, but you can't because this guy's standing there staring and looking at you while you're eating your sandwich. So you give him a piece of your sandwich. Now, did you give him the piece of sandwich because it's a mitzvah of tzedakah? No, it's Hashem wants me to give him a piece of my sandwich because he's hungry and he doesn't have. So it's incumbent upon me to do the Ratzon Hashem, the Tzivoy of Hashem, and to give tzedakah. Or do I give it because I feel like I need to give it? I can feel compelled to give him because I want to eat my sandwich. Menucha. You see the difference? Now both people, in both instances, they're doing the same exact thing. They're giving a piece. But here, this guy is mamish connecting to Hashem. He's connecting himself to the source of all sources by him giving him this piece of sandwich. The other guy just giving a piece of sandwich. Same action, totally different result. Different result. It's a different result. The outcome is different. Okay. So that's what we're saying here. We're trying to establish that. And I'm glad we're bringing this up because it's important to understand this. So in other words, Meimasai Kairin is a Shema, Bezman Shah Kaihanim, Oichlin Trumaseya. And what's the importance of that? So I'm supposed to remember each time. When I read the Shema, I remember the Kaihanim. I'm supposed to try to remember that Mishnah. When am I supposed to read this Shema? When the Kahanim are reading their Truma. So that's the connection. So in other words, when I say Shema, remember, the Kahanim, my Truma, my Tzedakah today. Because we don't have the Truma today. But we established that Tzedakah and Truma are really one of the same. Right? They're one of the same. We don't have Truma today. But we can give the Tzedakah today. So again, but we give it B'nediva slave, we connect to the Ratzon of Hashem. And by doing that, we say the Shema, we get to the 25th courthouse, that Supreme Court. The Supreme Court then gives us the passes and the ability to say Baruch Shem Kivod Malchus, which is 24, connected the 24 courthouses, and each one you get a pass to get out of that courthouse, and you can come back and everything's good.
So if someone gives tzedakah because he feels obligated, because he feels pressured into it, it's not giving tzedakah really.
Okay, I'm not going to say he didn't give tzedakah, but he certainly didn't benefit what he could have from doing that. Yes.
How much tzedakah we have to pay to send to the poor?
Well, we're supposed to give. We usually give 10%.
10%.
Yes. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do.
Per year, 10%.
If you made $100, you give $10.
$100 net or $100 gross?
No, one day, maybe one day I have $100 plus. One day I had $200 minus. So I have to count after a year.
You could do over a year. You could do on a daily basis, however you want to do it. It doesn't matter. You want to make a cheshbon every day. Today I made $90, so I put $9 aside. Tomorrow I made $200, I put $20 aside.
And the next day you lose $200.
So do you take it back? Yes. If you lost $200, so then you...
Tax deduction.
Yeah, the tax deduction, yeah. Okay? Oh, but that's a different story. That's why. So we understand what we're learning over here, right? In other words, the importance... We're doing this anyway, so no one's going to say that he didn't give the tzedakah. But many times I'll give you an example like this. You go to a bank, and you could put your money in a regular savings account and get almost nothing, or you can negotiate and go and get a CD and get a little bit better rate, right? You can get a better rate, right? You have to negotiate it, right? Right, and you put your money aside and you get a little bit of a better interest rate. Not much better, but it's better, right? It's true. Another 2%, another 3%, whatever it is, you'll get that. But now both of them put their money in the bank. One's getting a little bit better return on his money, the other one's not getting. So this guy gave his tzedakah, but he's not getting the best return on his money.
Because he didn't give it with the right.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it right. He didn't give it with the right feeling, with the right intention. Right? Okay. Look, it's a strange thing, but the din in Shulchan Aruch is when you give tzedakah, you have to give it b'seiv upon him yafas. You have to give it a nice, a friendly face. You can't be grouchy. It's amazing, right? But then no one's going to say if you gave the money and you were grouchy with the person, you didn't get anything. Of course, you still gave the money. You get something, but hey, don't you want to get the best return make the best return on your investment? And tzedakah is an investment. Right? That's what I give this money. Hashem says, test me. That's the only mitzvah. Hashem says, you could test me. Give money tzedakah, test me. I'll show you, you'll get more money back. It's funny, right? That's the only mitzvah that there is in the Torah. Hashem says you could test me on it. It's amazing, right? Yeah, it goes backwards, back and forth. Exactly. It goes back and forth. No, and then the other thing is that to realize, whenever you give tzedakah, you think for a second, Hashem, wow, look how fortunate I am that I'm on this end and I'm giving to this individual, and not chas v'shalom that I'm coming to him for the money. Do we think about that? What did I do that I'm so fortunate that I'm the one on the giving side and not chas v'shalom the one on the taking side? Right? All nice things we could think about when we're doing the same thing. Okay? All right. Now, kiyei bechinas achas likolel b'rotzen elyon ulahamshich misham avtakes adinim. Because whenever you connect to the rotzen elyon, whenever you connect up on high, and you attribute everything back to Hashem, and you realize it's all me'es Hashem. I have this money because Hashem gave it to me. I'm in the position I am because Hashem put me in this position. And it's all gratitude to Hashem, to recognize it's all Hashem. Whenever we do that, that is the best way to mitigate any problems in our life. Whenever we realize it's all Hashem. It's not this one did this to me, it's not him, it's not her, it's not this, it's all Hashem. And this is what Hashem wants, I accept it. That's emunah pshuta, right? I accept what Hashem gave me. So whenever we do that, to include ourselves in the Ratzon Hashem, and from there, when I'm connected to Hashem, I get the sweetening of judgments. Hamtakas adinim. Ad sheyalu akol l'sham sheyir ritzaynam chazak la'Hashem yizbarach tamid, until that we'll get better and better at this, and then our Ratzon will be aligned with the Ratzon Hashem regularly. So in other words, it wouldn't be that Hashem wants me to do one thing and I have a desire to do something else.
But it doesn't seem that those people that are observant and daven and that, many of them suffer, and then you got those that are machal Shabbos and they're prospering.
No, okay, but those guys that are suffering, most of them, if you interview them and you talk to them, they look to you that they're suffering. They seem that they're suffering. But really, the emistical guys, the ones that are really true at what they're doing, they're malei simcha. They realize it's all me'ez Hashem. I've had the opportunity to speak to a lot of Ani Eretz Yisrael and to talk to them. And some of them they have 10 children in a 2-room apartment. Now, how could that be comfortable? How could that be comfortable? In a small apartment with 10 children, how could that be comfortable? But you know something? But the kids are appreciative of every little thing. They appreciate things. Where today we have children all over, that live in big, big homes, and every kid has their own room and this. How appreciative are those kids?
It's kumse.
Alles kumsezeh. Exactly. And if they don't have exactly what they want, oh boy, you got to take them to the therapist. It's interesting, right? But that's the truth, right? The therapists don't do as well in the poor areas. They do better they do much better in the affluent areas. Right? It's interesting, right?
The poor people can't afford therapists.
But perhaps they don't necessarily need it as much. Right? But that's another story. We're learning over here like this. So in other words, when you get up to Shema and you just think for 1 second, wow, I'm doing this the time that the Kahanim are eating their truma. Truma. I gave my truma b'nediva slave. I gave my truma with a full heart. I gave my truma to the Kahanim and I felt good and the Kayan felt good. It was a beautiful experience. And now I'm giving my tzedakah today. I give my tzedakah today. I give that with a full heart. And we gave our tzedakah in the morning. We gave it by Yevarach David. Right? It says over there we're supposed to give our money for tzedakah by Yevarach David. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Right? It says in all the Siddur, you're supposed to take your money and put your money in the tzedakah box then. I designated my money then.
And I put it aside until I got
you put it aside, but whatever, it's designated. It's either you gave it or it's designated. You don't expect to put that money back in your pocket, right? That's designated money.
You expect it to come back in your pocket for what you did.
Oh, okay. All right. So we see what's going on here, right? Okay. Now, key achila de kedusha, because when I eat the kedusha, and that's what the kahanim did. Right, the Kahanim had to wash their hands when the Kahanim had to make sure that they went to the mikveh. They had to make sure if it was a full yom, he couldn't eat his truma till the nightfall. Remember all those things we learned about? Remember what a full yom is? Right, a person went to the mikveh in the day, but he wasn't purified till the night set in. So he's called a tful yom. He's pure, but he's not ready to eat the truma. But once it came the nighttime, then all the Kehanim were able to eat their truma, because that was the time. So again, in other words, we remember the kedusha of the Kehanim, the way they had to go to eat. So in other words, right now, we don't go to the mikveh if you want to eat something, right? But the Kehanim, when they wanted to eat truma and meiser, they had to make sure they went to the mikveh, they ate it b'kedusha, b'tahara. See the difference? Because the Kahanim ate their truma b'kedusha. They ate their truma after they were purified properly. And that's the illumination of the Ratzon of Hashem when they were eating. It says, the Chazal tell us that the time that the Kahanim would eat their truma, we would get kapara. That's when we would get our kapara. In other words, we would get our forgiveness when they were eating, because they ate in such a in a level of kedusha. So and what are they eating? The food that you gave them, that I gave them, that each one gave them. And when we see when Hashem looks at the way they're eating the food that you gave them, that affects a forgiveness to the different people that provided them with that food, that they're able to eat it with that level of holiness. It's a beautiful idea. Okay, so I think we're going to stop over here with this lesson. So again, let's recap, okay? So we're supposed to may Masai kriya kairin as a Shema bizman kahanim oichlo tu Masayim. So we established that the Shema is 25 letters. The Shema, the most important letter of the Shema is the Dalid, that little spitz, the little point on the Dalid, and that's why we're sure to enunciate the Dalid. Echad, exactly, to enunciate the Dalid. There are 24 letters of Baruch Shem Kivod Malchusay Li'olam Vod, hinting to the 24 upper courthouses. The 25th letter of Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, which is higher than the 24 courthouses. When we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and I connect myself to the Ratzon Hashem, I realize it's Ein Eid Milvadei. It's only you, Hashem, in the world. Via doing that, we get a pass, so to say, to go to the 24 lower courthouses, which we have to do to come back down to this world. Because when we're davening, we take trips, right? We start off our tefillah in the Olam HaAsiyah. When we get to Psukei D'Zimra, we go to the Olam HaYetzirah. When we do Baruch Hu and Birchas Kriya Shema, we're in the Olam HaBriya. And then when we get to Shemay Esrei, we're in the Olam Atzilut, which is the highest world. That it said that even in the Olam Atzilut, even the Malachim are not allowed in there. Only Nishmas Yisrael is allowed in that Olam. And that's what we do when we're standing Shemay Esrei. We have a private audience with Hashem, and there's no one in between. Only Nishmas Yisrael is in that chamber with Hashem, whatever that means. But now we want to be able to bring back, when we have our audience with the King, yeah? So we want to be able to, Hashem grants us all nice things. We ask Hashem for things, Hashem gives it to us. But we have to make sure it doesn't get taken away from us on our way back down to the world through those courthouses. So by connecting to Hashem, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, that it's only you, Hashem, and all the things I did wrong, I realize I shouldn't have done them wrong because it's only you, Hashem. And I'm sorry, Hashem, for what I did. And I get those passes, so I can go through all the 24 courthouses, and I can get whatever packages Hashem gave me to bring back into the world, I could take them back with me. But how do I do that? By remembering when I give my tzedakah, which is connected to Truma, because Truma is like a tzedakah. So when I give my tzedakah, when I give my tzedakah, I'm in a diva slave. So then when I say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, they give me that pass, so that way I can get through the 24 courthouses, and I hope we understand this lesson. Any questions?
Pretty deep.
Okay, but this is what we're doing every day. But this is what's going on every single day, whether we know it or not. And in our next class, we're going to explain how that works. Everyone, I want to wish you a good Shabbos. Take care.